anymore.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Cool.
There's another nice space for you, Charles, down there at the bottom left-hand corner. We are already ticking down here. And another nice thing about being at a LAN, no time syncing.
True. And it's super easy. And now, and another nice thing, we don't have to use... Okay. We'll get that fixed. Well, let's stay tuned to this one for now. Black Belly on tower control.
Kraken here is really going with a short-range comp, and they like to do that normally on a lot of maps, but I mean, Black Belly plays to that kind of strategy a lot, and we're going to be watching Charles, who loves playing the Splattershot Jr. and is one of the better ones in the Western scene because of it, and those splat bombs are going to be one of the few ranged components that they'll have all game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed the Hydra, but that's coming out as well as both the Luna and Custom Range Blaster on behalf of SpeedRunsLive, which is pretty interesting in and of itself, but you should be able to make it work fine.
Yeah, that Splatling, the Hydra, piloted by Albino Albatross, who usually plays Bamboozler, which is a very underused weapon in the competitive community, but trying to make that Hydra work on the sniper platform, and GK making a very, very nice push so far, trying to climb up on the sniper platform and almost
How did all those hit markers not even connect? Actually able to stay on the tower for just a little bit longer before, once again, SpeedRunsLive taking control back.
Yes, we're going to take credit for that kill, but a 52 push, not bad for the first 45 seconds of the game. Because it's Black Belly and it's such a small map,
pushing.
You really need to get to about the 20 or so.
Oh my goodness, still getting the kill on Swiffy, maybe a double kill going in, and nicely done on their part. Now they'll be able to get back on top of the tower pretty soon and push it past the 52-point marker here.
Beautiful couple of kills there, and almost to his bubble is Charles, who can now just sit on the tower
can make this final push.
Share with his team. That's going to be a huge component. He has to pop it now at around the 32 mark. He gets bunched off, but the tower push is still going, and 3 members are still by it.
Yo, the Luna's still creeping up, saying, hey, I believe I can get you if I can creep up right below you, but the bubble says no. One will go down. And we'll have to see if anybody else goes down as well. No, the Luna Blaster's going to get 2 directs.
There's only 1 member
Oh my goodness, Square coming up.
Square stopping the push at 3 and giving SRL a chance to come back.
Single-handedly getting rid of 3. My goodness, Square. Oh my god, okay.
Only on Black Belly, these high-octane, high-kill games are going to be always present on a map like this where it's so small.
That Hydra didn't spot the flank coming around behind, but either way, the Hydra's going to be taken care of there. Only 1 down now on both sides. They have to have some specials ready to be able to start a push here. They have to watch out for the flank coming in behind,
and pretty interesting. You may, as a Splattershot Jr., you may want to run something like Special Charge, but he's running a bunch of quick respawn and stealth jump, playing more so to the map than to the weapon itself. So he really has to take care in building up that bubble to push with his team on the tower.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I was surprised. Like, I saw so many bullets fired on Tudos there, and I was about to pop off thinking Tudos was dead, but still staying alive in that past altercation. In the meantime, Ingzuka's going to go out. Carmen Roller taken down.
And I have to give credit to Kraken here. Despite the fact that they lost that push there, they're still maintaining a bunch of map control, which on a small map like this can be really difficult to do. So even they're maintaining their mid, they're maintaining their half pipe in case they're pushing, but they haven't even need to worry about it. They've been in SRL's half pipe this entire game.
No, good to know. Yeah, it's been a consistency of blue here. You'll see a Hydra poke out every now and then on the other side, trying to gain a semblance of map control before they initiate any fights, but they have no time to initiate these fights and kind of flank around Get Kraken when Get Kraken is constantly pushing down their own neck. And now I believe Charles is going to be looking for an opportunity here.
Yeah, Charles trying to go for a cheeky flank. One of the first he's tried to pull all game. I believe SRL's distracted.
They have no idea.
The bubble as well. The Hydra's not going to have his bubble.
One down.
There goes 1. Swiffy's going to go down.
The Kraken goes out though. That's 2 down.
The Kraken is going to come out for SRL. And this tower will go back to mid.
All right, they finally are able to get some pushes going. SpeedRunsLive haven't been able to get anything going until just yet. Charles is going to go down as well. That's 2 down, actually.
It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It just matters that you get there. And this is SRL's big moment here. They're finally getting some map control in mid, which is what they've been missing all game. But that's a 3-down situation for them now. Got Kraken adjusting very quickly, and now they're just trying to get map control. They're not even in any hurry to push the tower.
Right. But you have to wonder, I mean, this purple is opening up a lot more. Luna Blaster's going to be able to take care of 1 on the left side. There's 3 down now on behalf of, that's a full wipe coming in for Got Kraken. The tides seem to be shifting quite a bit here as they might be even struggling to get out of base. 2-2 split coming out now, and they have to be fearful and work together to make sure they keep their lives, as SpeedRunsLive definitely looking to make sure that they get this going. towards the 40s, 30s, 20s, and even more.
Yeah, under a minute left to go. We heard here in the commentators booth the SRL group frantically chanting that there were 3 down. And
nicely
done!
And
a double bubble. One team popping a bubble each, and there's 2 members of each team on that tower trying to fight. It looks like SRL, for the most part, won that 2 down for both teams, actually, with 35 seconds left to go, and they're still fighting in mid.
Yeah.
This is an absolute onslaught and bloodshed.
Yeah, talk about, like, syncing up with each other, just, like, general synergy, and just the preparation to have both Luna Blaster go out, the person with bubble right next to them available, pop the bubble when they get attacked. And beyond that, when those who get bubbled against have the bubble as well, the layers of protection that they have before going into a fight is insane. Now, with 8 seconds left to go, SpeedRunsLive, they have 3 down. I don't know if they'll be able to keep this up. Actually, Swiffy's going to go down as the last player. They're going to have to watch for the stealth jumps, but it's too late. And SpeedRunsLive will actually lose the first match. Kraken able to take it in a somewhat decisive victory. Also,
and Kraken with a good strategy there. I like the fact that you mentioned the bubble. This is one of the safest maps, especially on tower control for a bubble, because what's going to happen, there aren't those really high to low elevations that you see on some maps. There isn't water over the path of the tower, so you're not in any danger of falling in. And an 18-10 performance coming out there, I believe, from Joe to lead the charge for Kraken. Great game 1 for them.
For real. My goodness. And I'm curious as to, I don't have the map list immediately in front of me, but I'm really curious as to what it's going to be next. Rainmaker, though, that's something I'm super about. Oh, we're playing football.
Rainmaker Piranha Pit. We've seen this one all day, and it's resulted in some very, very interesting games. It's so strange because for Rainmaker specifically on this map, you spawn in a different place. You spawn up and to the left of where you normally spawn. So it becomes a lot more of a horizontal map, and this is the only real mode to use those lower platforms on the left and right-hand side, which is where the Rainmaker platform is.
Right. I'm going to make sure both capture cards are taken care of so we can have both perspectives. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll hold it down until then. So still going to be watching from the perspective of Charles while we get the SpeedRunsLive side of things up and running. We will be watching from Little Square's perspective when we get that going. Kraken up 1-0 so far. It looks like Charles probably going to stay on the Splattershot Junior here. He's going to load up with both attack and defense with some damage and some defense, about 2 mains worth of defense and about a main worth of attack. He's got those nice goggles on as well. What's going on, AC? But we got 15 seconds left. Kraken, I like their strategy there. I wonder how it's going to translate to a much bigger map, Piranha Pit. Blackbelly, all those short-range weapons worked, and it looks like they're sticking with a very similar comp here as we see, I believe, Shy going with the Carbon Roller Deco. So they're going to use the horizontal aspect of the map to try and get some of those Seekers and those Seeker rushes off. So here we go. Game number 2 about to take place between Kraken and SRL. Kraken up 1-0. We already know the loadout for Kraken. Let's see what SRL is bringing to the table, and it's actually relatively similar. Albino switching over to his bread and butter, the amazing Bamboozler, and we're also going to see a Carbon Roller Deco on the SRL side, and I believe we might see AC joining me here.
Eric's fishing an issue on stream right now, so I'm just coming in and saying, oh my god, what a set that was. And we are back with Albino holding down that ramp. Rainmaker starting the push.
Yeah, SRL is going to be the first one to pick up the Rainmaker. A couple of 2-down situations on the side of Kraken, but the push is going to be stopped relatively quickly. So good defense by Kraken, and that's what the early game here is all about. It's establishing that map control, which is fought in between these 2 conveyor belts.
And speaking of early, we have an early Ingzuka already coming out, not able to net any kills, and actually puts him in an awful situation. Oh, here it looks like we have the color lock coming in. That's why you're seeing the little bit of changing color stream. It's just so they have a definite one. It is definitely the same game. Continue on, Zach.
Yeah, that threw me off a little bit, but we now finally have the perspective of Little Square for SRL, who is going to be running that CRB, the custom range blaster. Nice job avoiding both the Rainmaker shot and the Ink Strike. Unfortunately for the Rainmaker, they're not going to get a full charge shot off, but they get them in the end. And Charles, who has been absolutely devastating on the Rainmaker, I think the Rainmaker has been Charles' best weapon this whole series.
All right. Well, they're going to be able to get the Rainmaker really quick here. And the Seeker actually connecting from downtown. We'll have to see if they can actually make anything out of this, but it's 76-74 margin. Nothing too much keeping these teams apart. Granted, only 74, 76 points. Not too much to be said with 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game so far. Both teams kind of playing somewhat neutral, not either team kind of reaching too far into the opponent's territory just yet.
Yeah, I would say it's still very much in the early game, but now specials are starting to be used as they fight for map control. We see a bubble and a Kraken get popped. SRL is going to try and keep that Rainmaker away from the hands of Kraken, who just pulls out an Inkzuka now, and they're going to try and get some kills. We also see a Seeker kill and a 3-down situation for Kraken, so we might see an extension of the lead, but they are stopped.
Yeah. And watch out, yeah. Okay, so basically, yeah, so far the story of this game has been, let's wait a little bit, and then it's all come flooding at once with all of our specials all at the same time. All four kind of neatly bunched up together right here, and I thought for a second the direct was coming, but Square unfortunately not able to connect.
And we're seeing a very interesting game here. They're both fighting over the objective and map control at the same time. You'll often see teams wait until they have entire map control to push that objective, but SRL especially is not messing around. They're just saying, we'll blaze a path as we go, and sometimes that's all you really need.
Nicely done, Square. Oh, but a slam dunk to the face. Kraken able to take him down with his patented tri-slosher as well, and able to finally at least extend that lead just a little bit.
I believe that's the third 3-down situation that SRL has forced onto Kraken, who's playing decent defense. They've only gotten them to a 59, but SRL definitely has the advantage so far. We have one located there. A nice kill there onto Charles, looking for the double, only gets an indirect, and the Rainmaker's in a tough spot for Kraken.
Yeah, these two players are kind of off in a weird corner, but of course they're going to be in a weird corner. Why not? I mean, they're going to have the bubble. They have the security to be able to be in such vulnerable positions like that, and they get away with getting a kill and maybe even 2 kills to be able to neutral this up.
SRL having the benefit of one member being alive, they were able to jump over closer to the Kraken side of things. 1:40 left to go. We see a little Square get the kill there and pop that Kraken. Not sure if the Kraken was necessary.
Oh, God,
but
nicely done.
Another kill there onto Shy, looking for a third.
I thought
misses the direct
Square,
by
I thought.
hair.
She thought too. She thought, but she didn't.
Love having that face cam on the players, dude.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, no, there's been some people have had are really into it. I think my favorite has been Dimitri so far. That dude, he looks like me when I'm playing. It's like my head's moving with every movement of the game. It's like I'm popping off everywhere. He's my spirit animal. Anyway, 1:07 seconds left to go. What's the story on this one?
SRL has been doing a much better job than in Game 1 of holding down map control. I don't think Kraken has been able to leave that little side of their spawn by the pillow pretty much the entire game.
Inkzuka, though.
We see the Inkzuka and the Ink Strike coming out to try and hold SRL back, but they may have overextended too early. Kraken will probably have time to build up their specials at least once more, but there's going to be some echolocation coming out from SRL and a Kraken waiting in the wings from Little Square.
And Little Square was so close to getting rid of their Inkzuka right off the bat with a hit marker super insanely close, but the Kraken and Bubble have been activated in the meantime. And that Kraken is actually going to be able to guarantee the Rainmaker and push it even beyond 44. In fact, going the distance, it's only 1v1 right now at the Rainmaker, and he's going to be able to outpush that to the 17-point marker. SpeedRunsLive may have very well secured their first victory in this set.
Yeah, 17 is going to be an incredibly hard number to beat. Kraken is desperately trying to get some map control. They're trying to do anything to blaze a path, but that Rainmaker is still so far back, and there's going to be some specials on the side of Kraken as we see both.
Oh, the slam dunk!
The bubble come out.
But can Kraken follow up?
Go into overtime with this one.
Can Kraken and get Kraken followed up? No, they won't be able to. Okay, I thought for a second they might be able to get away with it, but it's Kraken able to come away with the game 2. Just like that, able to keep 2 there.
And you look at the map control there. Kraken actually did a decent job of coming back and securing a good amount of the middle part of the map, but it was too little too late, and they couldn't get out past those conveyor belts because SRL was just waiting for them there. That's all they had to do.
Right. I just inaccurately called it. It's 1-1 for SpeedRunsLive. So yeah, evening up the set, and I think it's definitely. Oh, she was like, ooh, need to get loosey goosey.
Shake it out, loosey goosey, baby, loosey goosey.
Yeah, and I think it's not so far off to say that this is one of the tighter sets of group stages as a whole today. And definitely looking like it's so far pretty even so far, but the neutral game has been the most interesting part of it. In terms of the kind of pace it takes and kind of the waiting and what we're going to be able to see from you before we decide we want to move in on you.
Yeah, and we're moving on to a pretty interesting map mode combination. Splatzone's Kelp Dome always has a bunch of different facets to it. Because it's a one-zone map, but it has a giant structure in the middle, you have to spend time painting both the bottom elevation and the stuff on top of that big platform in order to fully take over the zone. And Ink Strike alone is likely not going to do it, so your team has to be on top of it. So weapons like Splatlings and Dynamos that can really abuse those grates that are up top, that can shoot down below, have the high ground advantage, and also have a range advantage, are going to come in very handy here, and this might be one that's tough for Kraken because I don't know that they have those elements on their team.
I'll have to see. They don't really. Tudas is going to change it up just a little bit here, going for that Zinc Mini, of course. We can still see some swift reaction. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and lock in Splat Zones on Kelp Dome. Like you said, it's a little bit of a doozy that you have to go on 2 floors to be able to make sure that you get all the turf that you need to take control of the objective. Now, it's interesting. They have to kind of play and make sure they're in communication about who's covering what ground. If you lose track of communication quickly, you can leave an entire half of the map completely exposed, leave yourself open to flanks, especially on this map. I mean, you can say that about a lot of maps in general, but the way that the dynamic of this map often plays out, it's one of like constant circular motion.
Yeah, this is definitely a big flanker map, and actually Kraken proving me wrong. They're bringing a Dynamo. I believe that's Shy that's going to have that, so they will have that long-range turfing capability, and they were able to grab the zone first, but were heavily contested, and now given a penalty by SRL. We also see that Square has her Ink Strike at the ready, probably doesn't want to die, but there's the flank you were talking about, and Joe now also with his bubble in tow. This is going to be likely another takeover for Kraken, but they need to get on the zone.
Yeah. And this is going to be a somewhat concerning here as, okay, bubble v bubble battle, and they're going to make sure they get at least some fire onto this bubble. That should be exhausting out of that bubble just now, but they're going to be able to 2v1, if not 3v1 on that one.
Yeah, effectively a 3v1. That's going to force a 2-down situation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought I saw someone coming behind, and I think maybe 2DOS took care of it. If that's the case, good for them.
You always have to watch out on this map. You always have to be looking behind your back. Square, though, with the Ink Strike again, they don't really need it right now. They're doing a great job of holding on to the zone. There might be one coming over there. There's the Kraken over there with the Tri-Slosher trying to come into the zone. Doesn't see Square. Square's going to try and launch himself on him.
But Square didn't exactly predict exactly where he was going to swim, but gets away with it eventually.
Still had the jump on them anyway. We saw 2 down
Splat
there
Bomb
for
is
Kraken
perfect.
again. That Ink Strike might need to come in handy here. The Dynamo's been all the way backed up into the Kraken spawn, so they're not at that effective range. They need to get up onto those platforms.
Either way, the Ink Strike is coming in, seeming to seal the deal here. Will that be able to happen? The echolocator comes in. I wouldn't be surprised
if with it as well.
The bubble comes too late. They're actually far too late for this one. They're only able to get a step into anywhere near the zone before game. And with that being said, SpeedRunsLive, it's 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely the most decisive game we've seen yet. SpeedRunsLive really took control of that. They only faltered at the very beginning, but then they built up their specials. We see a 7-2 performance there by Swiffy on that Carbon Roller Deco, and Albino also going 4-1. So some nice performances there. They were able to watch out for their flanks very well. Square went back and was able to check on Kraken when he was flanking around, and even with that misstep was able to take him out. And they used their bubbles at the right time as well. They waited for Kraken to use theirs first, and they called it out so that they had 2 or even 3 members on the bubble user so that when it ran out, they were able to take them down in the blink of an eye.
Now, that wasn't a good game for Kraken.
Not at all.
The other 2 games kind of, wishy-washy and kind of interesting in how they were somewhat even, but that game wasn't a good sign of things to come for Kraken. Now, we're moving on, of course, to, I believe, Rainmaker, if I'm not mistaken.
Tower Control, actually.
Tower Control.
So Tower Control, Bluefin Depot. This is going to be very, very interesting. Kraken needs to find their momentum. That's what SpeedRunsLive has going for them right now, and they also have that range advantage, too. They're going to be bringing 3 mid to long-range weapons with them, the E-Leader, the CRB, and the Barry Splattershot Pro, so they're going to be having a lot of map control potential in their favor, especially with that Suction Bomb Rush coming in.
Now, this match is important, because, this group is pretty stacked. You have Hanron, who is, in my opinion, slated to maybe win this tournament. They're one of the best,
possibly, yeah.
One of the best Western tournaments out there, for sure, or Western teams out there.
This is one of the best Western tournaments, confirmed.
You got Hanron and SpeedRunsLive, Kraken, Eyes Emoji, whose players, by the way, Eyes Emoji, they have veterans from nearly every, if not every, Splatoon land there's been, and that's something to take into account. I don't know. So this group is looking pretty hectic, and there's a lot of good matches to come. Really keeping my eyes, and this match may be pretty important, especially for placement and seedings.
Yeah, and even if Kraken loses this one, if they place 3rd in their group, there's still a chance that they can get 7th or 8th and make it into that top 8 tomorrow. So there's still a good chance for them, and they force effectively a full wipe onto SRL. They're 3 down, and then the last one going down shortly after, stopping the push at 70. So they're doing all the right things. They're focusing on both courts. They've mostly gotten map control on both sides of it. We see a very, very good direct there by Square, which is going to halt some of that momentum, however.
Yeah. Echolocator came from the right side, and good on them to look around, but unfortunately it's going to be a little bit too late. Kraken going to be able to take advantage of that Echolocator, come from the side, and at least take 1 down before they maybe get some more paint control and then start this push.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised. I mean, I know that SRL has that range, but they're being pushed back quite a bit, and I guess the aggressiveness of God Kraken is finally paying off for the misses.
How did that not happen?
Square not able to come away with the kill. And that's, however, a 3-down situation for God Kraken. So I think Square the only one going down. The rest of the team able to hold on to it. And she still, with that special saver, is very close to her Kraken. So she'll be able to stop any potential pushes that come her way.
Switch, dude. We're balling out here. Either way.
Kobe just trying to throw some shots up there onto that higher elevation. Another Disrupt is going to come out, likely from Kraken. Trying to be melted down from the other side, the other court. Charles with that 96 gal. Gonna lock it in.
Square's having a good time. She's like, oh my goodness, I was like literally a step away. Could you just not have waited just like half a second? Anyway, immediately being taken down on the tower. As soon as they entered into the enemy territory, nearly everyone is down. But Square here. Now Square does have Kraken. He's going to be able to activate it in front of the Luna. Gets rid of at least one before maybe a second. Nicely done.
Just riding the tower, using the tower's momentum to carry her to Charles. Says, come to me, my son, and I shall destroy you.
That was beautiful, Square. You probably can't hear me, but that was beautiful.
She'll see it later, I hope. We'll make her see it.
Oh, actually predicting wrong on where they would swim there. I believe Square maybe predicted that they would swim back and shot accordingly, but still swimming forward, completely aggressive on that one, and Square pays the price for a wrong prediction. Either way, not too much wrong here in terms of map control. There's still plenty of open ink until maybe just now that Square can kind of approach Kraken from.
Yeah, that's the thing with these two comps.
Oh, man.
So it looks like God Kraken has the map control, but they don't. SRL doesn't really need it as much. They can hang out on that top elevation and shoot from up above onto down below. So they don't necessarily need it. They can still stop pushes before GK gets anywhere close to 48, which is the number to get to.
Now we have all 4 members on this side. I don't think anybody's actually looking at the other side. And as soon as I call it, nothing happening just yet. Actually, one being taken down. That's a sniper down.
Looking for the second indirect on the Kraken. Not quite going to find it, and Kraken will survive onto that other side of the court.
They're still extremely vulnerable right now. I mean, they're still at a level of playing field that is all focused and concentrated on one particular area, and they're not really keeping that much awareness of their surroundings right now. And off the past 30 seconds or so, God Kraken is actually able to take a good control of a part of the map. They haven't been able to have that much consistency with guy. I think Kraken able to flank at least a little bit before forcing the bubble.
I have to give a shout out to Square's positioning, though. Her positioning has been really good for the most part. She's been able to distance herself away from those closer range weapons like Kraken's Tri-Slosher, force out things like the bubble so that they won't have them for the end part of the push to get the lead. And that was a 3-down situation with under a minute left to go. So God Kraken basically has to stay alive this entire time, build up their specials, and wait to use them until they get up to that higher elevation.
Right. And I think the thinking in that flank from Kraken was he was coming around to where 2 of his teammates were coming. They were on the way. They had started that push on the tower, but it wasn't the most coordinated push. He was forced to use his bubble a little bit too early, and it kind of had this disjointed kind of offensive that wasn't really an offensive at all. And now it begins to, it begs the question, are they really going to have enough time to have a coordinated special with all of their specials? In the meantime, being completely Kraken tamed.
Comes up from the crowd as the beautiful Kraken tame from GK, namely Joe, is going to stop Square in her tracks, but 15 seconds left to go and still a lot of ground to cover for GK. They have the map control on the bottom part.
They have time, but
could have been a direct there. 7 seconds left to go. And it looks like SRL has some nice defenses coming on.
Would you like to dance?
Left. There's still one on the tower, but SRL will climb on it. SRL taking a beautiful set. 3-1 over God Kraken.
Now that was an incredibly fun one to have. That was a cute hug. But yeah, stellar stuff to both teams. I mean, I want to see the. Oh, this was definitely a bloodshed. Definitely a bloodshed on both teams' behalfs. But once again, God Kraken losing the KD ratio on that one, and that'll be the set.
Yeah, other than the 18 and 14, the KDs were relatively similar. And God Kraken actually, as I mentioned, had a good amount of map control, but